Hello, BookTube. Cheers. Pretty warm day out today. My wife and I went out and did a little book hunting. Found a small bookshelf. Pulled it out of the truck when we got home. Then my son had to get a hammer and some finish nails and put it back together. But this is what you do when you grab every bookshelf you see, right? So we got it all fixed up. It's upstairs in the bedroom, and I'll have to load it later on. But I did manage to get some stuff. I'll go through fairly quickly some of the stuff that maybe won't be of great interest to everybody. First of all, I got some CDs. I just got 4 of these. I got Nigel Kennedy, Tchaikovsky, and Sibelius violin concertos. I like Kennedy. I remember when he came up, so he can get a little excited. I got one of these Naxos volumes, and this is the best of Grieg, and I like Naxos, and so that was fun. Well, this was easy. This is CBS RCA Masterworks. This is a portrait of Vladimir Horowitz with some Beethoven, Chopin, Mozart, Scarlatti, Schumann, and Scriabin. So you can't go wrong there. And this one here is the only one that's sort of an outlier, and I just grabbed it because it looks sort of cool. It's by a company called Technics, I guess, but it's a Venetian coronation, on 1595, Andre and Giovanni Gabrielli, with the Gabrielli Consort and Players with Paul McCreish. This could be really good, or it could be, terrible. Who knows? So that was the music. Thought I'd throw that out first. Let me get to some of the other stuff that probably won't be of the greatest interest, but I love reference works. Actually, I didn't even need to do what I just did. I could have just done this. And for $1 a piece, I like print reference works. I know that depending on what the subject is, they can go out of date. So if you're going to get a print reference work on medical stuff, you probably ought to reconsider. That's where the internet or even a database that you subscribe to is better. But for me, these were fun. I got them for $1 a piece. And it's a new edition for the 1990s, so it fits me perfectly. So this is, the first one is a concise Oxford Dictionary. Wonderful condition, as they should be. The next one is also new for the 1990s, the Oxford Thesaurus. Always handy to have these around. And I have other ones in different companies and different things. This is the Oxford Dictionary of English Grammar. New. And then this is the Oxford Guide to English Usage. Very handy. Love having them on the desk. So there you go. So now we'll get to the more probably universally interesting stuff for folks. I read The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson a while back. This one's a little dinged, but I got Words of Radiance. I have to look at my journals, but I don't think I ever got to it. I think I was going to when something came up. So for 50 cents, grab this. I'll go over there, and I'll get to it when I can. Right now, I've got a lot of reading going on. This one's a replacement for a novel I absolutely love and did love. An author I have problems with, but a book that was wonderful. And a cover I've never seen before, but this is Leon Uris, Trinity. I love this book, and I read it when it first came out, so it would be nice to revisit. I don't know if I can do it this year. I'd like to do it this year. Next, I've been picking up a lot of Wallace Stegner lately. This is Crossing to Safety. I think I've actually picked up a few in the last month or so. An author I like and that I haven't read enough of, a Western author, a Western American author. Wonderful. I believe he used to teach at Stanford. And so I've been grabbing Stegner when I see him, and I'm glad I do see him, which means he's being read, which is a wonderful thing. Where do I want to go from here? I don't have... I do have this. so I'll probably end up giving this away. But this is Unfinished Tales of Numenor and the Middle-earth paper edition. What I was thinking when I grabbed it, but for 50 cents, I couldn't help it. And I think my daughter's starting to get into these. Some of these Christopher Tolkien edited ones, I'm not sure a young person like her, if she would get into it all that much, but she could put it on her shelf, and we'll see, right? She can have it there until she's interested. And let's see where we want to go from here. Then a replacement copy, because I don't know if you see right here, my copy's a little dinged up, and so I grabbed this, God Emperor of Dune. It's a Science Fiction Book Club 50 years on the thing here. I like all these Dune novels. Glad to have the replacement. I think mine was getting a little roughed up, so that'll be nice. Where do I want to go next? Let's do this. So the next thing I have here is a Norton anthology, and this is Jewish American literature. Great shape for $1. This is edited by Jules Chemetsky, John Felsteiner, Eileen Flansbaum, and Catherine Hellerstein, W.W. Norton Company out of New York, and this is from 2001. So we have Literature of Arrival, 1654 to 1880. That's impressive. The Great Tide, 1881 to 1924. A lot of these authors will be new to me, and that's good. There's a whole section on Jewish humor. This thing's got a huge table of contents. Achievement and Ambivalence, 1945-1973. So Isaac Bejenet Singer, Lionel Trilling. Some of these are going to be writers I know a little more about. Although in the previous section you have Delmar Schwartz, Irwin Shaw, Arthur Miller. But then continuing on with this, Irving Howe, Howard Nemerov, Grace Paley. It's really an impressive. Elie Wiesel, Cynthia Ozick. Then you have Wandering and Return, literature since 1973. So Chaim Potok, Adrian Rich, Harold Bloom, which is from his The Book of J, which I've read. E.L. Doctorow, who I love. Robert Pinsky. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And then Jews translating Jews. I have to look and see what that's all about. But like I say, a wonderful looking volume. I'm a big fan of Norton anthologies, especially when they do a subject like this, which they bring a lot of expertise to. So glad to have this. I'll learn a lot. I will learn a lot. Then another Norton book, but this is one of those paperbacks. This is Blake's Poetry and Designs, a Nautical Critical Edition, second edition, selected and edited by Mary Lynn Johnson and John E. Grant. Always look at these. I always look to make sure they're not heavily highlighted, and which happens with school books, right? But in this case, no. It's in perfect condition. So I will really like having this back on my shelf to pick up. So this is nice. Like I say, I'm always careful when I look at these. And then another anthology, and this one's from Longman's. This is the Longman anthology of Gothic verse, edited by Caroline Franklin. This has got quite a index table of contents too. So Longman's an imprint of Pearson, okay. And this came out in 2011. Let's see here. Yeah, Thomas Gray, Walter Scott, George Crabbe, Robert Burns, Anne Radcliffe, Williams Wordsworth, Walter Scott, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. It includes the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which is good. Percy Bysshe Shelley, Lord Byron, just the list goes on and on. Emily Dickinson, Robert Browning. This one also has a section of illustrations that look pretty interesting. So, nice anthology. Glad to have it. We'll dip into that one probably pretty quick, actually. Now let's go out west. The first one here I have is Death of a Gunfighter. It's won the Best Book of Western History in 2008. Doesn't tell me by who. And this is The Quest for Jack Slade, the West's Most Elusive Legend by Dan Rothenberg. I love some Western history, the American West. This was from Borders. 1859, the United States careened toward civil war. The federal government's only northern link with California was the struggling stagecoach line, plagued by outlaws and hostile Indians. Jack Slade, a former soldier and teamster, was hired to clean up the line's most dangerous division. Slade kept the stagecoaches running and helped launch the Pony Express, securing California and its gold for the Union, and earning the nickname the Law West of Kearney. But once Slade had restored the peace, his life descended into alcoholism, transforming him. Here, let me fix that. His life descended into alcoholism, transforming him from a courageous leader and devoted husband into a quick-triggered drunk, who finally lost his life at the hands of vigilantes. Despite his notoriety, Slade's fascinating life has remained hidden behind half-truths and myths. In Death of a Gunfighter, The Quest for Jack Slade, the West's Most Elusive Legend, journalist Dan Rothenberg assembles a lifetime of research to reveal the true story of one of America's great tragic heroes. I just couldn't pass this by. Like I said, it was like 50 cents. And it's a story I don't know anything about. I mean, I know about the Pony Express and stuff like that. But this I don't. So if anybody does, just let me know. So I don't know how common a story it is to be told. And another thing, of course, an author I really like, Alan W. Eckhart. And this is a book I didn't know about. Johnny Logan, Shawnee Spy. It's got those end papers. This thing is Little Brown and Company out of Boston. And this is the first edition. And it was from 1983. I just saw something, but maybe I didn't. There's a very young and dapper looking Mr. Eckhart. Let's see what this is about. Johnny Logan will be welcomed by all of Alan Eckhart's admirers, especially those who love Blue Jacket, the story of a frontier boy who became a Shawnee Indian. Blue Jacket's popularity inspired Mr. Eckhart to write Johnny Logan, a true story of a Shawnee who became a U.S. spy. Johnny Logan was one of the greatest Indian friends a white man ever had on the American frontier, and he was the only Indian buried with full United States military honors. Well, up until when? That would be a question, right? Born Spemeka Laba in the Ohio country in 1774, he was captured at the age of 12 by General Benjamin Logan, but later returned to his tribe. Despite great admiration for Tecumseh, his uncle and leader of the Indian nation, Johnny Logan realized he loved his adopted family and their culture even more. The advent of the War of 1812 forced Johnny to make a wrenching decision: remain loyal to his tribe and his heritage, or serve the adopted culture that had become truly his own. With great misgivings, Johnny Logan became a spy against the British and his fellow Indians. Alan Eckhart provides the colorful details of Johnny Logan's amazing life, his harrowing adventures, and impossible choices. All of the incidents, customs, and people are true, and recreate the moving story of this heroic Shawnee spy. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. I know the author. Never heard of this book, or if I have, I've forgotten. And we will see. It sounds harrowing. Let's just put it that way. And now I'm going to finish up with a few. John Irving. I've read John Irving since he first burst on the scene with The World According to Garp, but I don't have a big collection anymore. I have A Prayer for Owen Meany in the house. So I picked up John Irving, The Hotel New Hampshire. And there he is, very young. And this is, let's see, Henry Robbins' book, E.P. Dutton out of New York. And this is the fourth printing in 1981. Then I got in paperback the 158-Pound Marriage. Little mass market paperback. 73 and 74, and this Valentine edition is 1990, and it's the 9th printing. And then the other one here is Cider House Rules, pretty good one. And this one, 1985, but this is Valentine's edition, 1993. It's a 3rd printing. So, nothing special about the editions, but it's nice to have them back in the library. Then one final thing I grabbed, I didn't even take the sticker off, is Isaac Asimov's science fiction magazine. This is from, I have to do it this way because the sticker's in the way. It is volume 9, number 6, June 1985. I just grabbed it because I wanted to grab it. So it's Charles Sheffield, Richard Grant, James Patrick Kelly, Damon Knight did a story. Asimov has an editorial on symbolism. So I couldn't pass it by. And plus, it's a little dinged up in the back, but you get the old science fiction book club stuff on the back there. That's always fun to look at. And so I love these old magazines. So I'll give it a read. So that's it. It was a fun day. It's hotter than the dickens out here on the porch, so I'm going to go back inside and finish this cold beer. But not a bad day. Not a bad day at all. So thank you, BookTube.